welcome back to another episode of the Natty Teacher. I'm your host. Who else but the Natty Teacher? Hopefully you like that snazzy little intro at the beginning. I made that today. Thought that was kind of a cool little catchy intro. It's like 5 seconds long, so you'll see that at the beginning of my videos from now on. Just kind of my signature little clip in there with a little screenshot of some posing that I had taken. You will see more posing footage very soon. I know I keep promising that. Just trying to figure out my lighting situation at home. It has been hard for me to actually find some relatively decent lighting, so you guys can get a nice crisp look at what I'm looking like. So I think I found it. I think I nailed it. Got a black bed sheet. That helped a lot. So you'll see that setup, and you'll see some that setup and the posing very soon here. So anyways, you have joined me for a pull session today, and I'm excited because I love me some pull work. Today is more of an upper back trap, rhomboid focused pull day as far as, you know, the actual back muscles we'll be targeting with the back portion of the pull workout. We got some rear delts as well. And then, of course, with any pull day, we got to end it with a nice pump, some biceps, okay? After that, we do have some direct abdominal training and calf work today. I did not train abs yesterday purely because they were still just kind of sore, to be honest with you. They were actually still really sore just from all the different squatting movements I had done in my quad workout, and direct, abdominal training earlier on in the week. So I just didn't train them yesterday. I'm training today. They feel a lot less sore today, so that's a big plus. So yeah, first exercise on the docket is a wide grip chest supported machine row. So I will see you there right about now. All right, so first exercise on the docket for this pull day was a wide grip chest supported machine row. We're really driving that chest into the pad, and we are really making sure that we are driving those elbows straight back. You can kind of see those muscles up in the back, even with the sweatshirt on, firing pretty hard, really targeting that upper back and traps and rhomboids and squeezing those shoulder blades together, driving those elbows back as far as we comfortably can and getting a good contraction and controlling that retraction. This portion right here where we're lengthening the arms out, really trying to get good control on that portion as well, not letting the weight just, whip us around or anything like that. We are controlling it and using the best form we can. 2 sets here, 1 top set, 1 back off set. Then we have, it has become one of my, as weird as it may be, one of my favorite exercises here. We do not have a chest supported T-bar, but this PowerTech T-bar, which is, you can't use a ton of weight. It is a humbling machine. Essentially, I'm trying to stay as bent over as possible while still being a little bit up here. And we are driving those elbows back, kind of picturing driving those elbows back through the sides of just outside of the rib cage. So not really tucking the elbows too hard, but tucking them enough to where we are kind of more focusing on that mid back here, and still, of course, the traps and rhomboids and all that, the innards of the back as well. So again, 2 sets here, 1 top set, and then 1 back off set. Then to end the actual back portion of this pull workout, we had some 1-arm machine rows. I really like this variation. I actually played with it a little bit on my back off set, which is not recorded, kind of changed my foot placement a little bit, and it had a little bit of a different angle that I was pulling, and that seemed to help a little bit. But this is a great exercise, really for the lats, actually. More than anything, we're driving that elbow straight back, picking a weight that is moderate because you really want to control and have that nice squeeze in the back, and then control that retraction as we straighten out the arm as well. Again, pick a comfortable spot, row that back, and go from there. You can absolutely replace this with like a bent over dumbbell row or like some variation of a cable row. Either of those would work. I have just found this machine, the nice thing is it kind of locks you in one particular movement pattern. You kind of can't move out of it because it's a fixed machine. So I really like this. Again, 2 total sets here. This one we actually did do the same weight. I believe I did a top set with this weight and then just kept that same weight on there and did just a handful less reps on there. So really focusing on that squeeze. Really, again, great thickness exercise for thickening up the lats. Play with it. Find a spot that's comfortable and go from there. Then we did 3 working sets of some rear delt flies. These were all myo rep match sets, meaning this is actually my second set, by the way. This is not my top set. So we picked a weight for a top set, did it for a total of 21 reps. And then what we did is we did 2 more additional sets where we did 21 reps, both of those sets as well, just with a handful of very short rest periods when needed to catch my breath and to, kind of fight off some of the burn that this exercise definitely gives you, especially when you're doing it in this higher rep range. So again, phenomenal exercise. It is my go-to rear delt movement, guys. It's one of those things where I've played with a handful of different rear delt variations, and I've found that doing essentially one heavy day where I keep the reps in maybe that 8 to 12 rep range for my top set, and then one day where I really keep everything like in that 15 to 25 rep range for a couple sets, I found that combination has absolutely blown up my rear delts. Obviously, through losing more body fat, they become much more prevalent to see, but absolutely doing that combo of one heavier day, one back off day is great. So again, 3 working sets there, all sets of 21. Now we have some Smith Machine shrugs as the back is looking nice and pieced up here. We got 3 plates aside here. You'll see that I'm coming out hard out of the bottom, getting a nice squeeze at the top. You don't have to hold it for 10 seconds or something like that. I think there's a huge misconception with shrugs where you got to like hold the weight at the top of the movement to get the most out of it. You can if you really want to. I've just found that kind of getting that nice tension, getting a good hard squeeze at the top, and then controlling that retraction on the way down absolutely does the trick here. So one of my favorite shrugging variations. Love barbell shrugs as well, and obviously I'm a big fan of dumbbell shrugs too, but this is definitely, I would say, my favorite. 2 working sets here, both with 3 plates. Then, onto the bicep portion. We did some machine preacher curls, one of my favorite bicep blasting movements without a shadow of a doubt. Make sure we're dropping the ego here. You don't need to do the full stack and do 200 plus pounds on a machine preacher curl. If you're doing it for this type of form for 200 plus pounds, congratulations, you probably have the greatest arms of all time, or at least the strongest, I'll tell you what. So again, make sure we're controlling that retraction, straightening the arms all the way out without hyperextending them, of course, and allowing that bicep to be in that fully stretched and lengthened position, and then get that good hard contraction. Don't, again, please drop the ego, especially with biceps and really with all your body parts. Drop the ego, do the exercise correctly, and get the most out of it. We did 3 working sets here, 2 sets with the same weight. Kind of a 2 heavier sets, and then 1 set where we dropped the weight 20% and kind of added a few additional reps on there. Ended with a phenomenal pump from this exercise for sure. One of my favorites. Machine preachers are great. Dumbbell preachers are great. With the easy bar or barbell preachers, all great variations for sure, as we're just kind of getting that last little bit here. Then, one of my newer favorite exercises, I've ran these a few times before, but I've really tried to stay consistent with them lately, is some one-arm cable curls, man. I am a big fan of this. Essentially what we're doing here is you're going to see my arm slightly at an angle behind my body in that starting position, and then we are curling the weight up and getting a nice hard squeeze making sure we're really getting a great contraction in the arm. Again, I'm only going to show you just the left side here, the side, facing the camera. I'm not going to do both. So please know I did 2 sets of this with both arms. I think both sets were maybe using 50 pounds here. I think it was right around the 13 rep range for both. Again, really focus on getting that nice, so you can see that I'm getting my arm nice and straight, and then bringing that weight all the way up and getting a good hard squeeze in that shortened position. Again, take the ego out. You don't need to do 120-pound one-arm cable curls or something like that where you're just swinging and clanging and banging the weight. Really focus on getting that good hard contraction at the top, and then get that full stretch on the way down. Then, to end the actual workout itself, I did 4 sets here of some pretty heavy rope crunches. We actually did 2 sets of 10 here, and then we followed that up with 2 sets of 8. So you can see that I'm really positioning the rope at kind of the top portion of my head and getting a full crunch, not a half crunch, not a, weird little 3/4, 1/4 crunch. No, I'm getting a nice full crunch and controlling that stretch on the way up. We don't need to go all the way up to where we're sitting completely at 90 degrees or something like that, but make sure we're bringing it up and getting that nice full crunch on the way down. Again, 4 total working sets here. You can play with the rep ranges throughout the week. Today I decided to go a little bit heavier since I had an extra rest day from abs yesterday, so they were feeling pretty strong. Again, make sure you progressively overload and get stronger at abs. All right, so we are down in the natty basement filming this outro. The original outro I filmed was a little too long, so we're going to condense this bad boy right here and right now. Pull workout was a 10 out of 10 without a shadow of a doubt. Felt really good, still felt very strong, obviously, as we have dropped volume a little bit. So exercise less here, exercise less there, really focusing more on for my bigger body parts especially, 1 top set and then 1 back off set for most of my bigger body part movements, and go from there. So Can tell fatigue has dropped a little bit. That feels really good. And recovery is going really good. Sleep has gotten better, actually. Digestion has gotten better. Literally everything, as we've gotten closer and closer to stepping on stage, has only gotten substantially better. So that is all pluses across the board. So join me tomorrow. We have a leg session on the docket, more of a hamstring and glute workout with a few little minor tweaks to make sure that we're not getting overly fatigued with these last couple of leg workouts. Legs are definitely my weakest point on my body part, especially from behind the hamstring and glutes. So what we're doing these last couple of weeks is really trying to bring out as many details as we can, not trying to overtrain them too much, because at this point, no matter what I do to the muscle group with only 2 weeks left, I'm not going to put on any muscle being in a consistent caloric deficit. So I'm going to try to bring out as many details and connect with those body parts as much as I possibly can these last couple of weeks. Obviously still train them hard, just really choose my exercises carefully to, of course, avoid injury and also to really form a strong mind-muscle connection. So on another note, real quick, I will be uploading consistently short little YouTube shorts. They're 60 seconds or less. I'm going to do at least 1 to 2 a day. One of them I did earlier today already has like 2,100 views or something like that. It's awesome. So I'm going to keep pumping those out. Basically what I'm going to do is select 1 to 2 exercises from my workouts and actually break them down more effectively and more efficiently. So it's one of those things where I am going to, like I said, pick an exercise and really go through the cues for it and the setup and what I try to do when I perform the exercise. So check those out. Again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We are just consistently growing, which is awesome. So I'm super, super excited that we are continuing to be on the up and up. So again, join me tomorrow for our Leg B workout. But for today, I am the Natty Teacher, and school is out. I'll see y'all tomorrow.